The detective's voice was flat, stripped of sympathy, as if rehearsed. "Mr. Hale, we recovered the jet. No survivors. But there's something else you need to hear." His words dragged through the line like broken glass. My wife's parents. Their private jet had gone down in the Rockies. Flames had eaten the fuselage, the snow had swallowed the rest. He paused, as if deciding whether to continue. When we checked passenger logs, we found documents, financial records, and DNA reports, things that don't quite add up. I gripped the phone tighter. My son's blanket still rested on the couch where my wife had left it that morning. The couch was empty. The child was gone. She had walked out with hollow eyes and said, "He's gone. He's not ours." Then the slam of the door. Now a detective was telling me there was something hidden in the wreckage, something I wasn't supposed to know. My wife's cold dismissal, her parents' rage, the fire station steps. I knew, before he said it, that the truth was about to cut deeper than the crash itself. Her parents never accepted me. Too ordinary, too quiet. A man who worked instead of networking, who thought loyalty mattered more than legacy. When our son was born, they stared at him with suspicion, as if his tiny fists carried proof of betrayal. "He's not hers," her mother spat. "He doesn't belong to this family." I thought it was grief talking, postpartum shadows. But their eyes were clear, sharp, deliberate. They wanted him erased. And my wife, already sinking in the darkness of depression, believed them, or needed to. She walked to that fire station with a blank face, placed him on the steps, and turned away. I wanted to scream, to beg, but she only said, "He's gone," and in that moment, I saw something terrifying: relief. Hours later, the plane fell from the sky, and instead of mourning, a detective was calling with words her parents had left behind: reports, documents, bloodlines. Something inside me refused to break. The edges of truth were there, sharp as glass, waiting for me to touch them. I moved quietly, collected her phone when she showered, cross-referenced numbers, messages buried under deletions. A man's name repeated in strange intervals. A name I didn't recognize, tied to financial transfers, hotel bookings. I ordered a DNA test on my son before the state could process his abandonment. I told no one, not even her. At work, my hands typed emails. At home, my eyes scanned records. When she slept, I studied her. The way her gaze lingered too long on silence. The way she avoided the crib entirely. The detective sent me fragments of the crash debris. Among the charred papers, one folder remained half burned. My wife's parents had paid for a paternity report. I opened it with surgical calm. The words were clear. Probability of maternity, 0%. My wife was not the mother. The ground didn't shift, it solidified, a quiet certainty. Their hatred of him wasn't madness, it was knowledge. They had known, and she had known. The DNA test I ordered arrived a week later. My name was stamped across the report. Probability of paternity, 99.8%. The boy was mine, entirely mine. I placed both reports on the kitchen table, the one from the wreckage, the one I held in my hands, side by side, like mirrors facing each other. She came in late that night, shoulders slumped, eyes vacant. I slid the papers toward her, said nothing. Her fingers trembled as she flipped them over. Her lips parted, then silence. Finally, "No, they told me." I leaned back, calm, detached. They lied. He was never theirs. He was never yours. He's mine. Her face broke in real time. She looked at me like a stranger who had just emptied a gun. And I felt nothing. I didn't raise my voice, didn't curse. I simply reached for my coat. The state placed him in foster care after you abandoned him. Tomorrow, I'll bring him home, alone. Her tears came too late. Please, I was sick. I didn't know. I stopped her with a look, one she had never seen before. You made a choice, I said. You chose their lies over blood. You gave away what was mine, and now you've lost both. She collapsed into a chair. The papers lay in front of her like tombstones. I left her there, drowning in the truth she had tried to bury. The house was quiet when I returned from the foster agency. My son slept in the crib, breathing softly, his chest rising with the rhythm of innocence. I stood over him, not with joy, not with pain, only clarity. He was mine, entirely, and no one could take that from me again. My wife stayed in the bedroom, silent, hollow. Her parents were ash in the mountains. Their legacy, their lies, their bloodlines, gone. All that remained was me. I touched his tiny hand. It curled around my finger with blind trust, the kind of trust his mother had already forfeited. I whispered to the dark room, more to myself than to him. We begin again, without her. And then I turned out the light.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.